Hine matovu manaim, shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine matovu manaim, shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine matov, shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine matov, shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine matovu manaim, shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine matovu manaim, shevet ahim gam yahad.
Well, Shabbat Shalom once again, everyone. This is truly a special thing to all be together. I'm scrolling through right in this moment and just seeing all these faces, and many of whom are familiar to me and many who are not. So if you do not know me, I'm Rabbi Benjamin Barnett. I'm the rabbi here at Chavarah. Shalom. And clearly, this is a moment like any other that we have experienced, and so all the different ways in which we are responding to this moment with love and with hope and with faith and with wisdom. The Strom family is, I feel like, carrying that banner of how to respond in this moment and doing it with such grace. And so here we are. I might as well say it because I know that people have been saying our first Zoom mitzvah, but it is no less a bar mitzvah than any other. And Elliot has put in so much work to be here, and it's really a wonderful thing, a joy that we get to be together in this way. And so, as I always do when we are together in the sanctuary, I make the point that none of us is a spectator here. None of us is here to watch a performance. Elliot knows that he's not performing. None of us is here to just sit back and see something. We're actually a part of this ritual. And even though we have the challenge of being physically distant in this way, I would say all the more so, I invite us to bringing our hearts and our minds fully here. That even though we'll just be seeing each other through screens, and even though we won't be able to sing together, I can't invite us wholeheartedly enough to truly be here in mind and body and spirit as much as possible, because that's what we're offering to Elliot right now as he rises to the Torah for the first time as a bar mitzvah. And so even though, again, we won't be actually singing together, hearing each other's voices, we'll only be hearing one voice at a time, I would like to invite us to sing along. And in between, if there is something, a word or a phrase or a teaching that you've come upon, then you want to meditate on that, or just whatever helps you to open your heart and be part of this ritual, I would like to invite you to do so. So I'd like to invite Elliot's grandfather, Richard, to please rise with him at the bima to present the talit. And invite those who wear a talit to have your talis ready if you don't have it on yet. And in a moment, Elliot will lead us in the blessing to put it on.
I remember when you were a toddler, most kids would climb rocks, not realize it was dangerous, keep climbing and probably fall. Not you. You would climb only so far, reach a decision point, stop and assess the situation to determine if it was safe, and then decide to climb or not to climb. Remember that? And now at age 13, you have the same approach. You still carefully evaluate every angle, study the alternatives, then come up with a solution, a well-reasoned decision, or at the least, negotiate a compromise. That is a gift you have. You don't go blindly with the crowd. You make your own decisions when you feel it is right. You're your own young man. The future for someone with your gifts is really unlimited. You care deeply and are sensitive to the feelings of others. I know you realize being smart is not always enough. You also have to have empathy for others and the ability and confidence in yourself to shape your own destiny. I have no doubt you will find your own way in life, a way which will lead you to success in your career, in your family, in your community, and in your relationships. I intend to be around a long time to witness all this, how you navigate your life and your future. And I'm proud to be your grandpa, Richard. And now I'd like to present this talit to you. The talit is a constant, important, powerful symbol of Jewish identity. The talit is a reminder of the duties and obligations of a Jew, including devotion to the commandments. It is my honor to present this talit to you. I know you will treasure it and wear it at all the important events of your life. May it bring you solace. Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotach v'tzivanu, lahitatef b'tzitzit.
We'll continue with Ma Tovu, which Elliot will lead us in. You have the Siddur at home. It's on page 141, and it'll pop up on our screen in a moment.
Ma tohu Mishkan
We'll continue with the morning blessings, which Sam is scrolling through for. In the Siddur, they start on page 153. If you are able, please rise. We traditionally rise as these blessings are chanted, and Elliot will lead us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who removes sleep from my eyes and slumber from my eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who gives the bird of dawn discernment to tell the day from night.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who stretches forth the earth upon the waters.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who makes the blind to see.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who clothes the naked.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who makes the captive free.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who raises up the humble.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who makes firm a person's step.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who acts for all my needs.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who girds Israel with strength.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who crowns Israel with splendor.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who made me in your image. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who made me free. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who made me the people Israel.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haolamim, who gives strength to the weary.
Amen. We turn now toward one of our other morning blessings, a prayer that we say traditionally in our initial moments of waking up in the morning, Elohai Neshama. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. These are words that we say every morning. Been thinking about this prayer lately, or as I was reflecting this morning about saying these words, just in light of this moment that we're in, and this sense of the ways in which we have to be concerned about this virus and catching or passing, and this sense of, I was reflecting with a friend and colleague of what that feels like, this sense of like contagion in the air that can be jarring. It is a heavy thing for us to be carrying. And I found this verse, this prayer is like an antidote to that, or maybe some medicine that we need as a reminder, is that, yes, it's true that there are things in the world that can cause harm, but that the tradition is reminding us that regardless of what's happening on the surface, that deep within each of us is something pure, physically pure and emotionally pure and spiritually pure. That the tradition says that each of us in the depths of our hearts and in the depths of our being have this thing that is tehorah, that is pure as the driven snow. And maybe that's our sincerity. Maybe that's our intention for goodness and for love. Maybe that's our kindness. Maybe that's sort of the sincere sense of connection that we feel with Elliot, with the Strom family, just each of us being here right now in this moment, walking with him and walking with them as they go through this joyous moment, this time of celebration in their family, amidst everything that's hard in the world, that we have this sense of purity that we can connect to within us and amidst us. So Elohai Neshama. It's on, let's see, page 165 in the Siddur. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehor. That repeats. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Ehorai, Atavarata, Ataverata, Atayetzarta, Atanifachta bi, Ve'ata Meshamera, Meshamra Bekirbi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorai. And Elliot's good friend Henry is going to lead us in the Ashrei, which can be found at the top of page 429.
Ashrei,
Ashrei,
Yoshvei,
Yoshvei,
Betecha, Od Yahalelucha, Od Yahalelucha.
Thank you, Henry. And we turn now to Elliot's great aunt, Neda, for Oziva Zimrat Yah. And so before we pull up the words, Neda's going to share some thoughts, some intention, and reflection about this verse before she leads us in it.
I'm Neda, and I'm Natalie's aunt and Elliot's great aunt. And I live here in Pittsburgh, and I wanted to share with you how it was I came to know this song. First of all, I'm in a hospice choir, and we've learned it for our Jewish patients and sing to them. But also on right after October 27th of 2018, which was a day that changed our community forever. That was the shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue, which is about a block that way from where I'm sitting. The day after that happened, it was a spontaneous gathering of over 1,000 people in the streets of Pittsburgh, Oakland, Squirrel Hill, and these communities, carrying candles, but also at the beginning of the march, they were taught by several rabbis this song. So no matter what religious tradition they came from, there were 1,000 people in the street singing Oziv Zimrat Yah. It was never to be forgotten. So that's the song I'm gonna share with you now and encourage you to please sing along. Are we muted properly, Rabbi? Are we okay?
You're great, you're perfect, yeah.
Okay. Oziv Zimrat Yah, via Eli Lishua. 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 Oziv Zimrat Yah, via Eli Yeshua. Ozi, Basim Radya, Wahili, Yeshua. Ozi, Basim Radya, Wahili, Yeshua.
Thank you, Neda. That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
So Elliot's Elliot's grandmother, Yvonne, is going to offer some words to him now as he becomes bar mitzvah.
In honor of Elliot's bar mitzvah, I am virtually standing here as Elliot's grandmother, but also as a daughter of Holocaust survivors, Elliot's great-grandparents, Isaac and Bertie Cohen. I think the two go hand in hand, and I am incredibly proud of Elliot, his parents, and the Havara community for making this bar mitzvah possible. I have seen firsthand the time, laughter, and tears that have gone into this process. Elliot and our entire family had the opportunity a few years ago to see my parents' hiding place in Rotterdam. It still exists and is notable because it is so ordinary. They hid in a small room with a tiny hiding place behind a closet underneath the staircase for over 2.5 years. I think seeing this space together as a family had a profoundly moving effect on us all and the legacy we represent. Elliot is now carrying this legacy forward, and I know he will be proud of himself for meeting this bar of manhood in Judaism. I know my relatives that lived and died would be honored that he and his family are continuing this legacy. Elliot is a product of this survivorship. I love you, Elliot.
It's beautiful. Thank you, Yvonne. What a beautiful offering, invitation, bestowal, really, to your grandson as he rises now to lead us in the Baruch Hu, the first moment in which he will enter in Jewish adulthood to lead the community in prayer. So Elliot is already standing, and those who are able, invite us each at home to stand as Elliot leads us in the Baruch Hu.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch mevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Yotzer v'rehoshet oseh shalom u'v're'atav.
Amen. You can be seated. And we move now toward the Shema, which is our central prayer. But before then, we go in through Ahava Rabbah, which means abundant love, a prayer that is our gateway into the Shema. And the Shema is our prayer of understanding interconnection. We say literally that Adonai Echad, that God is one. And what we mean by that on the deepest level is that we are all connected. And I've been saying this verse and reflecting on it again and again during these weeks, the time that we're, again, physically distant, but yet feeling the ways and how deeply we are interconnected and impacting each other's lives and sustaining each other. And it's like reaching across the Zoom waves, you know, to sustain these connections and enhance these connections and know that we need these connections more than ever. And even though Elliot and his family are in the sanctuary physically on their own, they can feel and reach across and know how important now, as much as ever, if not more than ever, these connections are. So let's each lend our voices and lend our energy through these Zoom channels to this sense of Ahava Rabbah, the abundant love that fills us and surrounds us. And so it starts on 273 and goes to 275. And Sam, thank you. You're doing such an awesome job. And you can just move back and forth when we get to the the second part. Scroll down. But yeah, no, that was right the first time. Yeah, back up. Perfect. 273. So it starts as a call and response. It's transliterated right below the Hebrew. Ahava Rabbah, Ahava Rabbah, Ahava Rabbah, Tanu, Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah, Tanu, Chemla Gedola, Vitera Hamalta, Vitera Hamalta, Aleinu, Chemla Gedola, Vitera Hamalta, Vitera Hamalta, Aleinu. Next page. V'ha'ereneinu b'toratecha v'dabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yached levaveinu v'yahava u'yira v'yahava u'yira et shemecha. Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah, Tanu, Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah.
Ahava Rabbah, Tanu. And if you're wearing a talit, I invite you to bring the four corners of your tzitzit together. And as we do, whether you wear a talit or not, you can imagine doing this, seeing if we can bring everyone in close. Even though we know that we're spread out physically now, we can, just for a moment of collective consciousness here, if you play along with this exercise, just imagine each of us physically, or even more than physically, spiritually, emotionally, drawing close to one another in this moment as we recognize all the ways in which our lives are interconnected, the ways in which we sustain and are sustained by one another. And as we finish this bracha, and then Elliot will lead us in the Shema. V'havienu l'shalom me'aba kanfot haaretz, v'tolichenu komamir li'atzenu, ki apwa yeshurata v'ke'avtanu l'shimha gdosa b'yamed. להודות לך ולייחדך באהבה, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 277.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'dvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzvah hayom alevavecha Veshinach v'devatecha v'dibarta bam v'shitecha uvechtecha v'yere uveshofecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha ובתותפות בעיניך, ובתם המזוזות ביתך, וישעריך.
Have a minute or so of silence. Looks like Sam is scrolling through. If you have a Siddur at home, you can pray the rest of the Shema, the second and third paragraphs. And if not, as I always invite people to do, you can simply meditate on the instruction to love with your whole being, your whole heart, with everything you have. Maybe just take a moment and call forth that power of love from within you. Adonai Elohechem Emet. So in a moment, we'll go into what is called the Amidah, our time for silent prayer. And we're going to do the Amidah all in silence. So we'll sing through the Micha Mocha, which is the prayer that's going to take us into the Amidah. And then during the Amidah period, I sincerely invite each of us to use that time in whatever way works for you. If you have a Siddur and you want to pray through any of that, or maybe Sam will pull up some piece of it that you can use, or you can simply offer whatever prayers upon your heart, or maybe there's something that you've heard this morning that felt meaningful or felt sweet in some way, and you want to reflect on that or contemplate that during the silence. Invite us each. We'll just have a few minutes of silent prayer meditation once we get through the Micha Mocha, which is on page 291, which Sam will pull up and we'll chant together. We're starting at the middle of the top Hebrew line, the very first words in the transliteration, Moshe and Miriam. Moses and Miriam and the children of Israel sang a song of joy, celebration, as they got to the shores of freedom. May all beings everywhere experience liberation during this time. Moshe Miriam U'bnei Yisrael Echanu Shira B'simcha Rabba Ve'amuna Third line, Micha Mocha. Micha Mocha, Elim Adonai. Micha Mocha, Neda Bakodesh, Nora Tehilo, Osef Ele, Shira Chadasha, Shibru Gehulim, Leshimcha Sefat, Hayam Yachad, Kulam Hodu, V'himlichu, V'yameru, Adonai, Adonai, Yimloch, Le'olam Ba'ed, Adonai, Yimloch, Le'olam Ba'ed, Adonai, Yimloch, Le'olam Ba'ed, Le'olam Ba'ed. Tzu Yisrael Kuma, Yezra'ad Yisrael, Uftechinu Mecha Yehuda, Yisrael Go'aleinu, Adonai Tzvaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch Atah Adonai Ga Yisrael. We'll have a few minutes again now of our silent prayer, meditation, reflection for our Amidah period. All right, Sarah Shine, go for it.
Shalom Aleinu. Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Say shalom Aleinu. Le'akol Yisrael. Le'akol Yoshkei Tevel. Le'akol Yisrael. Le'akol Yoshkei Tevel. Ve'meru Amen.
Amen. Beautiful. May the one who brings peace above bring peace for all of us, for all, call Yisrael, for all who dwell on earth. So, so we are experiencing some technical glitches here, and I want to say to Sarah and Greg, thank you, Yasher Koach. My apologies. So some folks are obviously shut out because Zoom. It is on Zoom. It sounds like that we're working on it, and it sounds like there are hundreds of people in line at Zoom right now. And so somehow it was on them that rather than there being 200 spaces, there are 100 spaces. And we're doing our best to come up with creative solutions. So I hadn't, Sarah, I hadn't realized that you all, I was worried you all were shut out because I didn't see your name, but then I remember seeing Greg's face and saw his name. So my apologies, thank you. So what we're gonna do now, folks, actually there's this minyan, this prayer group that meets once a month in Jerusalem that's really kind of crazy and long and like soulful, and they sing everything forever. They like daven, they pray until like, 3 in the afternoon. And they take a break before the Torah service, and everyone like has some schnapps and whatever, some like, cake or something like that. So what I'm going to invite us here, since this is our first Zoom bar mitzvah at Chabra, then why not, to add to our new traditions, we're going to have a little bit of break right here, because I think we're going to do our best to try and figure out how to link people in, and we're thinking of creative solutions here of how we can do that. And so I'm going to invite everyone to, either if schnapps is your thing, or maybe, chai or whatever it might be, to do that and just take a few minutes, and we're going to figure this out and be right back and sing a little more and then continue with the Torah service.
Hey, Elliot, can you hear me? It's all good, man. Technology is crazy. Luca had his bar mitzvah virtually 2 weeks ago, and we're sending you love, and it's all great, and we're waiting, and don't worry about anything.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks, Mark. We love you.
Love you guys.
Stay safe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, yeah, 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 yeah. Hi, yeah, yeah. Hi, yeah, yeah. Hi, yeah, 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 yeah. Hi, yeah, yeah. Hi, 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 Ay, 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 ay. So I invite Elliot's aunt, Maya, to offer some words of blessing to Elliot now.
Hello, can you hear me? Everyone's nodding, yes. Okay. Hi, Elliot. Dear Elliot, wow, 13 years old. Our first meeting was so memorable. After hours of anticipation on a transatlantic flight to Switzerland, wondering what you looked like, smelt like, and felt like, I finally got to meet you for the first time. Your perfect little new baby body was enough to fall totally in love with you. At our first meeting, I knew how special you were and what a deep bond I felt with you. Over the years, you have grown more and more into yourself. It's been fascinating to witness. You have become a deeply caring person with strong values. You are drawn to community and to witnessing others' stories. You are an observer, noticing and listening to those around you. You're drawn to elders, almost having an innate knowledge that you will derive wisdom from their presence. I've been impressed by your activism and your strong sense of wanting to fight for what is right. From lobbying in Salem for gun rights, to your advocacy for fighting climate change, to your volunteerism with the homeless. You aren't afraid to fight and work hard for what you believe in. You are a social creature who thrives in community. You're an integral and loved part of our family. You have become a leader, especially with the cousins. You are looked up to and are a role model in both our family, in both your family community and your larger community. You bring humor and honesty to your interactions with your friends, your family, and your classmates. Your desire to be with others, to listen and learn, and your curiosity will propel you through this life. Keep listening, keep watching, keep asking questions, keep wondering, keep being you. I'm proud of you and I love you.
Thanks.
Beautiful. Well, Elliot will, with those words of blessing to buoy him, Elliot will lead us now through the Torah service, the beginning of the Torah service, page 380 in the Siddur.
Ein kamocha va'Elohim Adonai Vein kamaseha Malhuteha Malhut kol olamim Umemshalteha behodor vador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimlo leolam vaed Adonai oz le'amo yitem Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom Arahamim Etziva vetzon ha'etzion Tivnei homot Yerushalayim Tivnei homot Yerushalayim Ki veha levad batachnu Melech el-ram v'nisaf Adon olamim.
And we rise as the ark is opened. Page 385, Vayehi bin Soa.
Vayehi bin Soa Aharon, Vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai, Ve'achitzu oivecha, Ve'ham nitzu mitzanecha, mitmonecha, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, U'devar Adonai, Yerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Ve'amo Yisrael Yikdushato.
Shabbat Shalom.
And the Torah scroll is now removed from the ark. So Richard, you can go ahead and hold that, and Ari, you can close the ark.
Shabbat Shalom. This is Deborah Eisenbach-Budner. I will never, ever, ever be late to a bar mitzvah again, I promise. So I have a blessing for Ari, and my understanding was that Justin would be taking the Torah out of the ark. So Justin, I can't quite see. Do you have the Torah in your arms?
I do.
Yay, okay. Okay, hold on to it for a moment, okay?
Got it.
Usually in this moment, I have the honor of taking hold of the Torah from the ark and passing it to the parents. But of course, this is not our usual Havra Shalom bar mitzvah service. We know that. But it is perfect. It is perfect to have you, Justin, Elliot, your father, be the one to take hold of the Torah from the ark. Torah, our ancient and collective treasure, our stories, our laws, our wisdom. It's perfect because because of Justin that, Elliot, you are standing here today about to receive the Torah into your arms. Of course, on many levels, but particularly on this level. I have this very clear image in my mind of the moment I met your family, not because I have the best memory, but because it really was memorable. It was some or another Havra holiday gathering, probably Purim, with lots of little ones buzzing around, including you, Elliot, and Ari. And we were standing in the social hall back near the post. And your father was towering over me with your mom on one side and your Oma on the other. But it seemed like your father was the youngest one in that moment. He was kind of excited and kind of shy, like he wasn't sure about being there in the synagogue. He said he knew that he was Jewish, but he didn't know anything about Judaism. And he wanted to learn for himself, and he wanted you and Ari to feel more connected to being Jewish. But he didn't know what that meant. And he said, is that okay? He asked me, is that okay? And now, Elliot, here you are, the first one to become bar bat mitzvah in your family for a very long time. Your family has taken hold of Torah, our tree of life, and Jewish community together, learning as you go. You, Elliot, are part of a brave and beautiful family with plenty of experience in discovering new territory, adapting to challenging circumstances, and coming through together. We are so happy that your family chose to travel this path and be part of our community. There are many people sending you and your family blessings and good wishes right this second. So I know it might feel strange, but I'd like to see if we can just take one moment here and you, Elliot, and your family can look at the screen. I think you can see everybody and feel who is here right now, celebrating right with you.
Hi.
We are here now, Elliot. We really are. And we will be here for you as you keep growing into yourself. May you find that taking hold of Torah yourself brings you connection and joy and strength through your whole life. And your dad can pass the Torah to your mom and you.
Oh, yeah. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shema.
Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shema.
Shema.
Turn around, just when you hold the seat over him. That's the next one. Face the arch, you know, bows, you do the God. What page? Same page. Beautiful. You can turn around and just face and hold the Torah well.
Aliyidi, Usanaviyam, Titalem, Elechanda, Amdali, Usanaviyam, Titalem, Elechanda, Amdali, Usanaviyam, Titalem.
All right, Elliot, you can go ahead and set that Torah on the table. Great, and Justin and Elliot are going to remove the cover and we will prepare for our Torah reading. So as they do that, just going to remind everyone just to mute themselves. And so in Jewish tradition, we chant a section of our Torah every Shabbat. And we are making our way through the 5 books right now. We're almost to the midway point of our year. And so we've just begun the book of Leviticus, the book of Vayikra. And this is Parshat Vayikra that Elliot and others will chant from. And Elliot's going to share some words of Torah. The essence, really, of this whole book, of this portion of this whole book, is about this whole system of sacrifice. And Elliot's going to speak about that. He's going to share some words of Torah with us, some thoughts about that. But I just wanted to say that's been resonating with me a lot this week, of this notion of the different sacrifices that we're making right now, and the different things that we're figuring out how to go without. And occurring to me, and I'm not the first to say this, because many Jewish teachers and leaders have been reflecting on this and contemplating the ways in which the Jewish people have had to innovate in so many different ways, in so many different contexts, over so many different generations. And just the notion of sacrifice itself, that was something that was done in the temple, the first and second temple, and then was stopped once the second temple was destroyed in the year 70. At that point, the rabbis, then they had to come up with something new. How do we do this now? That was their whole system of worship. And they had to come up with new and innovative ways and develop new rituals to connect to God and connect to each other. And so here we are in this moment of creating a new form of ritual, temporary new forms. We will be back to being able to be physically together in our rituals. But for now, it's like, in a certain sense, we're doing so much of what's in the spirit of what the Jewish people have always done, which is facing some kind of challenge. We've risen to it, and we have found innovative ways to practice ritual and to connect to each other. And that's what Elliot's leading us in today, is finding innovative ways. And so as we chant through, we're not actually going to share the screen of the Torah. So if you have a Tanakh at home, if you have a copy of the Torah at home, we'll be beginning the very beginning of Leviticus, chapter 1, verse 1. And then I think in the chat box, you're going to see in a moment a link for, rather than actually sharing the screen, Sam, I think we can just include the link for people who want to go there, can click on it and in their own web browser to the very beginning of Leviticus, and you can follow along if you want to. Or you can simply just listen to the chanting that Elliot's going to do and that others will do. If you want, just as some content as you do that, is asking the question, what's supporting my connection right now? If sacrifice for our ancestors was about feeling connected to God and feeling connected to community, what is helping me feel connected right now amidst this time? And what helps me to draw close to what feels life-giving in my life? So with that, I'm going to call our first Aliyah. Chazor v'egen lo shir achol achosim bo v'nomar amen hakol habu godel Eloheinu nuchabo laTorah ya'amdu Sarabat Arei Ruven v'Leah v'Micha Ziv ben Avraham v'Sarah. We call for this first Aliyah representatives of Elliot's Shabbat school class, Sarah and Greg Shine. We are not able to have the whole class up here as we normally would, and so Sarah and Greg are going to represent this class with this first Aliyah.
So I see that we have our class Talit. Thank you, Justin and Natalie. So Elliot, pretend that there's like 36 of us or 40 or however many we are now standing all around you, all smushed up underneath there. And any other Shabbat school teacher, parents that want to stand up and join in the Aliyah, please do so. Okay. All right. Baruch hu et Adonai hamborach.
Baruch leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamborach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vayikra el Moshe, Vayidaber Adonai elav, Me'ohel moed lemor, Daber, Obnei Yisrael ve'morta alehem, Adam, ki akriv mikem, Korban Adonai, min habimha, min habakar, min Hatzon, takrivu et korban ham. Mimola korbano, min habakar, zahar tamim yakrivenu, el heta, ohel moed yakrivoto, lirtzono lifnei Adonai, v'samach yado, al rosh ha'olav, v'nirtza lo l'haper alav, Vishahat et ben habakar lifnei Adonai vikrivu b'nei Aharon hakohanim et Adam vizareku et Adam al mizbeach saviv asher petach ohel moed v'hi shit et haolah v'nitach otach mimdahecha v'natenu. B'nai Aharon HaKohen, Eish al Mizbeach, Va'arechu Eitzim al Ha'esh, Ve'arehu. B'nai Aharon HaKohanim, Et HaNetahim, Et HaRosh, Et HaPader, al Ha'etzim, Asher al Ha'esh, Asher al Mizbeach. Bekir bo ufra'av mirhatz b'mayim, v'hivtir hakohen et hakol hamizbecha ola, yishereach mihoach l'Adonai. V'im min hatzon, korbano min hakesavim, o min haozim leola, zahar tamim yakrivenu, v'shahatoto, oh yeah, Hamizbeah, Zafona Lifnei, Bizaraku B'nai, Aharon HaKohanim Et Damon, Al Hamizbeah Saviv. V'nitach Oto, Limtahav, Vet Rosho, Vet Pedro, Ve'ara HaKohen Otam, Al Ha'etzim Asher Al Ha'esh, Asher Al Mizbeach, Kir Bo, V'Hakerev V'Hakarayim, Mirhatz Mayim, V'Hivtir, V'Hikriv HaKohen, Et HaKol, V'Hivtir HaMizbecha, Olahu, Ishe, Reach Mihoach L'Adonai.
Yasher koach.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tachenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. And for our second aliyah, we call Elliot's Oma, Yvonne, and his aunt Maya, Ta'amdu Shoshana bat Yitzchak v'Berti, v'Maya bat Richard v'Yvonne, Richard v'Shoshana, aliyah hashniya. So the second aliyah, if you are following along, begins chapter 1, verse 14.
Baruch hu Adonai Hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai
Ach
Habarach.
le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol v'anim, ve'etatana lanu et torato. Baruch hu Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Va'im min hayo ola korbano la'Adonai, v'hikriv min hatorim, o min b'nei hayona et korbano, v'hikrivo hakohen el hamizbeach, umla et rosho, v'hiktir hamizbeach, v'nimsa damo al kir hamizbeach, v'hesir et morato v'notzeta, v'hishlik ota etzel hamizbeach edma al makom hadashen, v'shisa oto v'knefa lo yavdil, v'hiktir oto hakohen hamizbeach al hatzim asher al ha'esh, olahu yishe reach nihoach la'Adonai.
My turn?
Yes.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chein olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
And for our third aliyah, we call Rob Blau and Holly Tellerant, in addition to Liza Friends and Shabbat School compadres for this third aliyah. Ya'amod Yosef Shmuel ben Eliezer v'Chana Sarah v'Ta'amod Tzvia bat Meir v'Frima aliyah hashlishit. And so this third aliyah begins chapter 2, verse 1, and Francis Springate is going to chant these verses.
Baruch et Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Benefesh ki takriv korban mincha le'Adonai. So let yihye korbano ve'yatzak aleha shemen ve'natan aleha levona ve'hevia el b'nei Aharon hakohanim ve'kamatz misham Melod kumso misalta umishamna al kolavonata vihiktir hakohen et azkarata hamisbeach ishe reach nichoach le'Adonai vehanut teret min hamincha le'Aharon ulvana Kodesh Kadashim Meishe Adonai Vechi Takriv Korban Mincha Ma'afe Tanur So let Chalot Matzot Bilulot Bashaman Urkike Matzot Meshuchim Bashaman V'imicha al hamachava korbanecha solet belula v'shemen matzah tihye patot ota pitim v'yatzakta aleha shemen mincha hiv.
Asher Koach.
Yeah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. This fourth aliyah, we call friends Stephanie and Mickey. Ta'amdu, Sarah Bat Ruvain, Stephanie Silverman, and Mickey Kistler, this aliyah ha-revi'it. And Sam Waxman is going to chant these verses beginning chapter 2, verse 7.
Baruch et Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. V'imcha marchashet karbanecha
Sole Bashaman Tease, Behevita, Hamincha, Asher, Yase, Me'ele, Lanai, Vehibiba El Hagohen, Vehigisha, El Hamizbeah, Behavim, Hagohen, Min Hamincha, Askarata, Vehiktir, Hamizbeha, Isher, Reah, Niha, Lanai, Hanater, Min Hamincha, Haram, Anaf, Koresh, Kadashim, Ishe Adonai.
Shkoch, Sam.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'torheinu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
This fifth Aliyah, we call Elliot's grandfather, Richard. Ya'amod, Richard, Ben, Rosalind, Charles, Aliyah HaChamishit. Chapter 2, verse 11.
Or who El Adonai Hambara.
Baruch Adonai Hamburach Leolam Ba'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambara Leolam Boed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'habanu mikol ha'amim Baruch Adonai noten Torah.
Amen.
Amen. Kol amincha asher takrivu l'Adonai lo ta'aseh chametz. Ki chol se'or v'chol dvash lo taktiru mimenu ishei l'Adonai. Korban reshit takrivu otam l'Adonai. V'al hamizbeach lo ya'alu l'reach nichoach. V'chol korban minchatcha b'melach timlach v'lo tashbit melach b'reit Elohecha me'al minchatecha al kol korbancha takriv melach.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chanu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. So at this point, we pause on our Torah reading to ask for blessings for healing for all those in our lives who are in need of healing of body and or spirit. So I'd like to invite us each to call to mind anyone in our life who's in need of healing of any kind. You might just take a moment and picture them in your mind's eye and send them whatever blessings they need for strength or for resilience or for comfort, or maybe that they receive the care that they need. And especially during this time of so many people needing healing, just sending those blessings out truly throughout each of our communities, wherever we are. It's amazing that we're all in so many places right now. So within our towns and cities and states and countries, and really throughout the whole world, may all beings everywhere experience the healing they need. So we'll just take a moment here, a few moments, if you would like to, and this will take a little bit, but we'll sort of be speaking over each other. But would like to invite, if you'd like to unmute yourself and share the name or names of anyone who's in need of healing. We'll take 30 seconds and do that, and then we'll sing together.
Harry Stern,
Jamie Onapanjaya, Jim Plunkett,
Cheryl
David
Mill,
Boycourt, Trudy, Margie and Mike, Trudy, her husband, Betty Berg, and Al.
Right, right.
Len Epstein and Carol Margolis.
My parents,
Isabel and
Br-
Stan.
Briggs Spach.
Liza and Beth Milliner.
Martin Kahn. Ben
Gary Kirshner and Diane Stone.
Isabel Ballatin, Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacob Brody.
Phil and Ann Grevin.
Leo Dedalus.
Stephanie Reed.
Grandpa Reed on the clarinet.
Right. Excuse me. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Good, good. I'm muting myself now.
Thank you.
All right, Jim. Beautiful.
Thank you, Jim. It's beautiful. We turn now back for the sixth Aliyah, chapter 2, verse 14. Elliot's tutor, Hebrew and Bar Mitzvah tutor, Josh Lake, is going to chant the verses, and we call the parents of the Bar Mitzvah for the sixth Aliyah. Yamdu David ben Richard Ivan Natalie bat Betty v'Jim Aliyah Hashishi.
Baruch Adonai Hamorach. Baruch Adonai Hamorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Asher Baruch Banu Mikol Ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Va'im takriv minchat bikurim ladonai aviv. Kalui be'esh geres karmel. Takriv et minchat bikorecha. Benatata aleha shemen v'samta aleha levona mincha hiv. Vehiktir hakohen et azkarata. Migarsa umishamna al kol levona isha ladonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet Behaye Olam Natan B'Tzefenu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Amen. And, Elliot, can I invite you to sit down for a moment? And then I can call you and you'll be called up to the Torah. There you go.
Yeah.
We can probably still see you on the Bima Cam, can't we? You can click the Bima Cam in there. Yeah. So we call now one who is rising into leadership within the Jewish community, Elliot Strom. Yamod Eliyahu ben David ben Natalie Habachor Habar Mitzvah. And Elliot will say the blessing and then chant for us chapter 3, beginning chapter 3, verse 1.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Im zeva shelamim korbano, im habakar hu makriv, im zahar im nekeva, tamim yakrivenu lifnei Adonai, v'samach yado al rosh korbano, ushrato, petach ohel moed, v'zareku b'nei Aharon, v'kohanim et hadam, al hamizbeach saviv, v'hivtiru oto, v'hikriv, mizev hashelamim, mishel Adonai, et ha'helev asher, ha'mechaseh et ha'kerev, ve'et kol ha'helev, Hasher al hakerev. Wait. Okay. Wait. Shetei kilayo. Etahilev asher halehen asher ala kisalim. Bet hayoteret al hakaved. Ala kilayot yisirena, v'hivtiru oto v'nei Haron hamizbecha al ha'ola asher al ha'etzim asher al ha'esh yisher reach mihoach l'Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'hayei olam natan b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. So Elliot, I'm going to invite you. So this is our moment in which we sing Siman Tov and Mazel Tov, and we're going to do that. Although we're not going to unmute and do that because it would be way too chaotic. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to sing. I invite everyone. We're all going to sing, but I'll be unmuted, and everyone else, whatever gestures or signs or anything you can do to indicate Siman Tov and Mazel Tov to Elliot, please go ahead. And Elliot, I'm going to invite you and your parents to like scroll through the gallery as you do, just to see everyone's faces. Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu, 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 Olecha Yisrael, Yehelanu. Yisrael, Yelanu, Yelanu, Ulecha Yisrael, Yelanu, Yelanu, Ulecha Yisrael. Mazal tov, Mazal tov. Beautiful. Awesome. Awesome. Such beautiful offerings, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's really, Elliot, I hope you're taking it in, this amazing network of love and support that you have right here with you in this moment. So you all are already up there at the bima. So I invite you all get a little closer. You know, I feel like you need to make up for all the physical distancing that we all have to do. So just get right up in there with each other. And this is the moment that Natalie and Justin say a blessing, a special blessing for this moment that we call, often referred to as the release blessing. That the way that we understand it here, I think, is a sense of what you two are releasing Elliot into is not a sense of not being guided still, or obviously not supported and receiving your counsel. And obviously he's not a full adult yet as we experience adulthood in our culture and our society. But there is a sense of releasing into. And you know, I think about this in this moment that we're in right now, and the weight and the power and the beauty of even in the difficulty of what we're releasing our children into. And what I mean by that is that this is an adult moment. You know, this is an adult moment. I think for all of us in the world right now, we're being asked to really be adults here, and it's amazing, Elliot becoming a bar mitzvah in this moment. And I want to reflect, as I've reflected to them directly, Justin and Natalie, how much love and how much thoughtfulness that you've displayed as you've guided Elliot through this moment to be right here, as we've gotten to this moment to be together virtually, and how you will be continuing to guide and support Elliot. And let's have this bracha, blessing, be for wisdom to discern how to help him continue to step into these adult moments, and how to have that thoughtfulness and that love as he continues to step into those on his own, never alone, never without love and support, but increasingly making the adult choices that he needs to make in life. May you always be blessed, Natalie and Justin, to have love and support that you need as you support Elliot. And so please repeat after me this blessing, and then everyone can say Amen. Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam,
Eloheinu melech haolam,
asher
pitaranu,
met onsho shel zeh. Amen. 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 So the Torah scroll will now be lifted and wrapped, and Justin and Natalie are going to do the honors for that. So please rise if you are able. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe mipnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Eitz chaim hi lemachzikim ba v'tomchei ha'me'ushar. Eitz chaim hi lemachzikim ba v'tomchei ha'me'ushar. Drachei drachei noam v'chol netivotei shalom. Drachei noam v'chol netivotei shalom. And we have the joy and honor to receive words of Torah now from our bar mitzvah, Elliot will share some of his wisdom that he's gleaned from this Torah reading.
The Torah is one of the most interesting books ever. Every line has been written about over and over again for thousands of years. Some of the Torah directly relates to modern times. Some of it does not. Vayikra is one of those harder to interpret portions. For one main reason, it deals with animal sacrifice. After the Second Temple was destroyed in Jerusalem, all the sacrifice stopped. It has not happened since 70 CE. Jewish culture has in turn removed itself from the notion of sacrificing animals. But we cannot just forget about it because it is so foreign to us. Sacrifice, though different, is still around today. Vayikra outlines every type of sacrifice brought to the altar. If you were well off, you might bring a goat or a bull. If you were less well-to-do, you might bring a bird or even just a little bit of grain. God wanted everybody, no matter how much money they had, to be able to connect with God. All the sacrifices were for different things. There were regular sacrifices, and there were sacrifices for when you sinned. Anything that you might pray about now, you would sacrifice for then. Sacrifice was a way of life. Well, what was sacrifice supposed to do? And who was it for? Why did our ancestors even do it? What was the whole point of it? These questions aroused my thinking a little. My immediate reaction was to believe that the whole thing was for ourselves. After that, I read some commentary by Rabbi Shefa Gold. She said the korbanot, or sacrifices, were a powerful and effective means of engaging all the senses, witnessing the power of life and death, and sharing a sacred meal in the presence of God. We sometimes are alone, but we just do not feel alone. I think that is like being with God. God is not just a being in the sky, but is also inside of us. God is not just a savior or an authority figure. God can also be your friend or teacher or whatever you want God to be. For our ancestors, these sacrifices were a way to communicate with God and feel God with them. When our ancestors sacrificed animals, it was kind of like sharing a meal with God and paying the bill. This is something you might do with your friend, back when we could have dinner together. This is showing your love to God. This is like showing your love to God, and God shows love back. So in a way, this is why it is for ourselves. You're getting love from God that you gave to God, and what God gives back benefits you. And even if God is not a being, you can still feel God's presence and love. My parents have sacrificed for me. When I came into existence, it radically changed their lives. They fed me and gave me a place to sleep. They cared for me, bought me clothes, not to mention driving carpool. They sacrificed their money and time. They achieved what they put into me. Love, the same thing that you give to God. In some ways, I am God. Everybody showing love and kindness is God. Maybe, though, we are all just God's reflections. When you look into clear water, you see God. God might not be on earth, but God's reflection is in us. In the end, though, choose your own way of interpreting God. It can be internal or external. Jews and non-Jews have many different ways of interpreting God. I did not mention it earlier, but korban also means closer. We all need to become closer. Many of these people think that they are right and others are wrong. What we need to do is accept everybody's view of God, because we are all right in our own way. Like I said earlier, God is whatever you want God to be. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yasher koach, Elliot.
Yeah. You.
Justin and Natalie invite you to the bima.
We'll each take our turn, and Justin will be first.
Wow, Elliot, 13, becoming a bar mitzvah. Amazing. So Elliot, your parsha is about sacrifice. Today, we are all experiencing our own version of sacrifice. I'd like to first recognize all who are sacrificing for the betterment of society and the world. It seems counterintuitive, but sacrifice can be a way of connection and bringing people closer together. This meeting is an example. Just a couple of days ago, you told me how grateful you were that everybody you invited today, independent of where you live, can attend the ceremony. We're so grateful that you all are here. Elliot, you're the kid who shows up with a remarkable innate sense of connection to Jewish life and belonging. Your questions are insatiable. Several years ago, when we visited the place where my grandparents hid during the war, you surprised us at how much you understood even then. You kept asking why and how over and over. You had to integrate the whole story. On Shabbat mornings, we often walk to the grave of your great-grandma Roz and place a stone of remembrance for her, as we did this morning. I know you look forward to these outings. It's not just for the donuts that we usually indulge in on our way. You have a relationship with your great-grandma even though you never met her. When we had the opportunity to tour Jerusalem just a few months ago, your thirst for knowledge and understanding of Jerusalem's importance in Jewish history and culture gave you the energy to stay engaged with our guide for the entire 10-hour duration. It was amazing. Elliot, may your sense of connection and belonging carry you throughout your life. Last month, you asked me the question, what would our life be without Havarah? This question stopped me in my tracks. This question says to me that you are so connected here, you simply can't imagine what our lives would be like otherwise. What this says to me is that the intention we have put in as a family to prioritize Jewish life, Jewish connection, Jewish belonging has assimilated into your very being. This showing up that we do is an act of choice. And each time we open the door to our community, our connection becomes deeper and more integrated. Elliot, may you continue to always be willing to do the simple and beautiful act of showing up. Elliot, you think for yourself. You question assumptions. As your father, this has caused me some strife, but watching your independence grow gives me a great sense of pride. Your own chosen path includes great empathy for others, compassion, and a developing sense of humor. The response to the person you are becoming is nothing but pure joy and love shared by your entire community. May you continue to awaken to your own sense of self. All over the world, B'nai Mitzvahs are happening. While we hold our special community dear, let us not forget others in the world experiencing their own set of challenges and opportunities. As a fellow Jewish parent who wrote an article recently said, being Jewish and doing Jewish has never been easy. Throughout our history, Jews have met secretly in caves and cellars, persisted with rituals in ghettos and barracks. Our shul may be empty today, but we carry on right now, not in spite of hate, but out of love and out of care for each other who occupy this planet. Elliot, may you continue to face challenges with intellect, empathy. I love you. Shabbat shalom.
My dear Elliot, this is a monumental day for you. Your dad and I are so proud of the hard work it has taken for you to get here today. To see you standing before your community, albeit in this completely unexpected way, is truly a magnificent thing. Elliot, nobody that knows you well would disagree that you are a truly unique individual and a remarkably deep thinker and feeler. You didn't say much when you were little, but back then as now, when you choose to add your voice, you blow us away with your enormously thoughtful questions. Elliot, you are a truly exceptional person. Your curiosity is enriched by your seemingly endless dives into rich nonfiction text, bringing novel insights and perspectives into culture and science, parallel to and even surpassing our own. Elliot, you are always thinking. Elliot, you are a real doer. Whether your vision for a creative project turns into a beaver dam construction in the backyard, a new dollhouse for your cousin, or your newly developing eye for design and your ear for music, Elliot, you are always inventing. Your deeply caring and sensitive nature is your strength. Whether you're pushing little kids on a tire swing at school or lobbying senators in Salem over gun control legislation, your actions come from your heart. Elliot, you are always inspiring. Elliot, you know how to liven up a roller skating party by wearing sequin pajamas and a top hat. Your voracious energy for topics, for friends, for pure fun is contagious. Without even trying, you draw people in, and none of us can wait to see what you're going to come up with next. You stay positive and unflinching. And most of all, you somehow know how to stay true to yourself. Elliot, you are a real leader. We're incredibly honored to be standing here with the love from so many friends and family on this important day. When we think of the thread that connects us to the generations of ancestors that came before us and to those generations still to come, today is a mere infinitesimal moment in time. Today we honor your grandmother, Yvonne, or Oma, whose parents survived unspeakable suffering in her homeland of Rotterdam during World War II, and we also honor the many ancestors that did not survive. We are here with your grandfather, Richard, and honor his ancestors who came to New York from Lithuania, the Orthodox Jews, who were made strong by banding together and withstanding oppression. We think of the many who are joining us from these families today, and also remember the many that are gone. Your great-grandfather was one of the liberators of the 13th Armored Division on my side, who freed Jews from concentration camps in World War II in Germany. His experience led to severe mental illness and suffering, and today we honor him and his children, including your grandfather Jim and your two great aunts, Andrea and Ada, who are with us today. The experiences of the generations who came before us shape who we are as a family and add to the reasons why it's such a big deal for you to become a B'nai Mitzvah today. Elliot, your story is an unlikely one, and a story we hope you are proud to tell the world. As we turn to our community during this particularly tumultuous time, we have an opportunity to really contemplate what we've always known to be important. Today, as we are called to make extreme personal sacrifice, we hold the community's health and safety in our minds above all. With our proximity to Passover, just over a week away, I'm struck by the meaning of the word dayenu, which means it would have been enough. It would have been enough to have everyone who is able to travel to come to Havarah in person to celebrate with us today. Today we have so many friends and family that live in faraway places and otherwise couldn't have come now joining us. Dayenu. It would have been enough to enjoy Elliot's bar mitzvah during a normal time. We now get to share this incredible feeling of togetherness in this particular moment, to be able to bring joy and lightness to all of our friends, family, and congregants, and all people who have filled our world with so much goodness over the years, who might especially need something to uplift their hearts and spirit. Dayenu. Elliot, standing here before your people in the world, you are here to say you're ready to step up with curiosity and grace amongst your immediate family, your extended family, your community, and humanity, to be the very best version of yourself. And the world is ready for you, Mr. Elliot. I feel so blessed to share the beauty of this incredible young spirit with all of you as Elliot becomes a bar mitzvah. For all of the wonderful love and support we feel from each of you, I want to thank you all so much for joining us in the celebration today. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. Thank you, Natalie and Justin.
Thank you.
We have from the community, we won't have the physical gift that will be of the Tanakh will make its way to you, Elliot, in right time. But Jody and Sharon, I wasn't sure if it was going to be both you. Great, awesome. I'll take it away. Pass to you.
We're just so happy to be with all of you today. And we want to acknowledge all the flexibility and the creativity and the persistence it took as you and your family, Elliot and Rabbi Benjamin, reimagined what this day would look like, and then reimagined it all a second time. And through it all, you've just remained so calm and confident in your learning and your preparation and what you were stepping into. And then you just led us all so beautifully this morning and read so beautifully this morning, like this had been your plan the whole time. So Yasher Koach. And as Rabbi Benjamin said, typically we would be on the bima together with you, and we would hand you a gift on behalf of the congregation to mark this huge change in how you participate as part of Havarah, now as a member of Minions, a scholar and a laner and a leader. But even though we can't physically hand you the book, we just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the gifts that pass between us, the gifts we bring you as a community and the gifts you bring us as a community.
Elliot, the first time I remember teaching you in Shabbat school, we were making these handmade Torahs, not Torahs, Torah scrolls. And I remember you just working so intensely on yours and how incredibly beautiful and creative it was, and how terrible I felt to have to move on to another topic during the class, because I wanted you to keep getting to do that. And I realized since then, over the years that I've gotten to know you, that you're so incredibly creative and kind and generous, and that I really look forward to what you bring already to the congregation and what you have to offer in your future in the congregation. Also, your kindness, generosity, and creativity, and your creative thinking also. So I'm really happy to get to share this day with you.
And so I think we speak for the congregation as a whole, but especially on behalf of all the Shabbat school parents who've been lucky enough to be close on this journey with you. When we say that, it is your creativity, your sense of humor, your dedication to learning and Jewish understanding, your care and your compassion, and your careful consideration of others, whether that's your friends or your family, or pandas, or other wildlife, your sense of connectedness of all things. These all combine to lead you to come up with the big ideas that we've all come to rely on, according to Henry, the big crazy ideas, and to ask the big questions that no one else has thought to ask yet. Elliot, you see things differently than a lot of people, and that is such a huge blessing to bring to our community. And we thank you for it. And we're so happy to get to celebrate with you today. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mazel tov. Thank you, Sharon and Jody. Beautiful. So Elliot, one more blessing before we move toward returning the Torah and concluding our service. And partly I just want to say Amen. Maybe that's my blessing, is just amen to everything that you've been hearing and receiving. I just will add a bit to it, to put a little more to it, is I love that you really asked the question in your drash, in your Devar Torah, reflecting honestly of what was sacrifice supposed to do? Like, that was really your first question. You brought, like, what was the point of it? And you very honestly got into that, and that you get it. And I think what you get is that sacrificing, in any way we take that word, is about connecting us to something larger. It's about connecting us to something larger, and how relevant and how needed that is right now. And how necessary for us to be aware of how we are connected to everyone. And that something larger sometimes gets called by the name God. That word that many people, I think, misunderstand, and for many people, understandably, don't really connect to it. And I just feel the need to hold up that I think you really get it on the deepest level, what we're trying to say with that word. And I was actually going back through my notes and of our conversations, and I saw something that you didn't put in, and I wanted to say it, is that what you said is, when I was asking you, well, what do you mean when we use the word God? And you said, there are some times when you're all by yourself, but it just doesn't feel like it. Which I think is such a beautiful articulation for all of us of any age to understand that sense of being connected. And that's what sacrifice can do. And you spoke about your parents sacrificing, which clearly they have and they are, but you, like all of us right now, are sacrificing in ways that we didn't choose to. And yet look at the power and look at the beauty that we can bring even in the midst of it. And so my blessing to you, Elliot, is may you discover throughout your life the ways in which giving something of ourselves brings us closer to others. May you continually discover how giving something of ourselves brings us closer to others and closer to who we really can be and who we really want to be as individuals and all together. And may you, as you discover that, may you feel the joy in that. May you feel the joy in that discovery again and again throughout your life. May it be a blessing, for many blessings, for you, for your parents, for your whole family, for all Klal Yisrael, for all the Jewish people, and for all who dwell on earth. May it be a blessing. Amen.
Amen.
So I'm going to ask you just to step up, and your parents, Natalie and Justin, just to be right there with him. And I'm going to invite folks to stand if you are able. I'm going to offer what we call the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing, which I always channel toward our B'nai Mitzvah at this moment. And folks can respond, again, just muted, but you can respond after each one, either Amen, or the Hebrew traditionally is Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be so. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and guard over you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence be lifted to you, and may God grant you peace and wholeness. Amen. We remain standing as the Torah is returned to the ark. So, Elliot, I'll ask one of your parents to bring the Torah scroll back to you. And we return to the Siddur now on page 433.
Got it? Okay. Which page? This page?
Israel, Am Yehovah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
It's fine. Yeah, wait, before you close it, you get to turn it this way. It's Hayim, Lama, Siva, Adonai, Nashuva, Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu,
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shenatan lanu Torat emet, v'chaye olam nata betochenu, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. We turn now to the mourner's Kaddish. I'm going to invite folks who are saying Kaddish. So you can be seated if you're not saying Kaddish, but if you're in mourning or observing a yard site, we'll just take a few moments here. And if you are saying Kaddish, invite you to unmute yourself and share the name of the person you're remembering before we say the Kaddish.
My grandmother, Ann Cohen.
Pete Winterfield.
Henry Sherman Bissain.
My mother, Bertie Cohen.
My brother, Stephen Labinger.
My brother, Larry Robbins.
My first wife, Judy Winslow, and my cousin, Bev Blum.
My uncle, Louis Eidman.
My aunt, Ella James.
My daughter, Courtney Thomas.
I'm so sorry.
My mother, Barbara Moss.
Page 451, Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabba, v'yalma divra chirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imeru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach leolam ulamei almaya, Yitbarach, Yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yit'aleh, V'yithalal, Shemei Dekudishah, Brichu, V'yela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, De'amiran, V'yalma, V'yimeru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min Shemaya, V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, V'yimeru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'ma'amav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'yimeru, Amen. May their memories be a blessing. Wow, well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for your presence and for making this beautiful ritual what it was. I'm going to pass back to Elliot now, who I think has some appreciations.
Thank you all for watching this and just participating through all of these hard times. Thank you, Rabbi Benjamin, for your support in helping us plan and keep changing plans according to the environment. Thank you to my tutor, Josh, for teaching me everything I needed to learn, even if we had to do it through FaceTime. Thank you to my parents for supporting me through this all. Thank you to my Grandpa Richard for driving up here and being here. Thank you to all the Torah readers, Sam, Liza, Francis, Benjamin, and Josh, for reading wonderfully and being there, and I did not have enough readers. Thank you to Grandpa Jim for playing the clarinet. Thank you to Grandma Susan for taking care of your dad and being there for him. Thank you to Jonathan, our tour guide in Jerusalem, for showing us where to buy a talit. Thank you to all of you watching and making this work. I could not have done this without any of you.
Mazal tov. So for a closing song, I'm putting the words into the chat box. It just popped up right there. I thought we could use some shalom, some salam, some peace and wholeness for everyone, for all who dwell on earth. May everyone experience peace. May everyone experience the blessings of safety and protection right now. So again, I'm going to invite us to stay muted and let's all sing along together. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'akol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'akol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'akol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'akol ha'olam. Salam, salam. And I think we have some brachot to make. Is that right, Strom family? Do you all have what you need in there?
Okay, Justin's getting it.
Okay, great. So we'll sing Vishamru as Justin gets the juice for kids. So I invite everyone, if you've got some fruit of the vine handy, or actually, juice of any kind, or whatever your drink of choice is, feel free to fill your cup, and we'll make kiddush together.
Go in and grab it.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש על כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו. All right, so you've got the juice in there?
We do.
Great, let's do a break for Hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen, amen. All right, and through Zoom, let's all connect to the challah. I'll reach on through as the Stroms lead us in the motzi.
Here we go. Reach on through. Okay.
Ready? Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Mazal tov, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Food.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Mazel tov. Shabbat shalom.
Mazel tov. We love you guys.
Mazel tov, Elliot. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom, Elliot.
Shabbat shalom.
Congratulations. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Shabbat
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you. Oh, awesome.
Don't look over there.
Shabbat shalom. Oh, that was awesome. Awesome.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Mazel tov.
I don't know if they spell it.
Hi, thank you.
Mazel tov.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Beautiful, Elliot.
Hi, Jamie. Oh, hi, Shines.
Hi, Richard.
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That bread looks good. Wish we could be there.
That's good. Hi, Bev.
Hi, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
Lori. Hi, Lori.
Thank you.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hi, thanks, Bev. Jim, it was
Mazel
beautiful.
tov.
Steady.
Fiona. Hi,
Hi,
Fiona.
Lori. Hi, thank you. Shabbat shalom.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
Oh, thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Who's that? Is that Ari?
Hi, Stephen.
Hi.
Hi, Stephen. Hi,
Mazel
Maya.
tov.
Sorry. Okay.
A lot of people. Yeah, it's great.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you.
Oh, look at.
Oh, it's my brother.
Brother, hello.
Hi.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, enjoy.
Hi, Fiona.
Congratulations, Ari and Elliot and Justin.
Thank
Elliot,
you,
come
Mark.
over here.
Bye.
Hi, thank you. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Metty and friends.
Hi, Carolyn, Sally. Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Missy.
Hi, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Hi,
Mazel
hi.
tov, Elliot.
Hi, Carolyn.
Say hi.
Hi, Richard.
Hi, Susan Tully.
Hi.
Hey, Shabbat shalom.
Hi, Maya.
Oh, the Walkers. Hi. Hi, thank you.
You
guys should stay on and hang out for a while.
Yeah, that's Warren. Oh, you guys look great. Hi, Warren.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Susan.
Yeah, I think my mom is out there.
She's being camera shy, I think.
Oh my goodness. That's so nice.
Great job.
Right.
Great job.
All righty.
Congratulations.
Good job, Elliot.
Rush.
Say hi to the group cards. Hi.
Mazel tov.
Hi, Ann.
Hi, how's it going?
Thank you.
Andrea sent me a picture.
Hi, Zoe.
Hi, Clara.
Zoe.
Clara, that's right.
Laura, we need to dance.
Yeah, I think
It'll be a great party someday. Great party.
And you're all invited.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Great.
Elliot, thank you for joining us today.
All right, bye, everybody. Stay healthy.
Bye, Clara.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take
Bye.
care.
Beautiful.
Bye.
Care. Beautiful ceremony.
Thank you. It was great. Thank you so much.
Hey, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Goodbye. Too.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Aw, nobody wants to leave.
I know. So beautiful.
Yeah, it was really great.
It was awesome.
Cool.
Elliot, we're gonna call you later, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
Judy Berry, I see your name, not your picture. Thank you.
How to get on? I'm trying to get there, but I don't know what to do.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good.
I saw Lisa made it too, and Warren, so you're well represented.
Yeah, but I saw everything. Congratulations, Mazel Tov. It was wonderful.
Good. I hope
Thank
you can come
you.
to the party.
Yes.
Karen and Zoe.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
And it's Elliot,
here's your panda. Oh, the panda.
Diane, Diane and Bill, you were there somewhere too, right?
Yeah, Diane.
Yeah, they're muted.
Okay, and Susan.
Judy.
Oh, there I am.
Oh, hi, Judy.
Hi.
Hi, Susan.
Thank you. Thank you for the tech support, Della.
Yeah, thank
and
you so
Sam
much.
And Steven, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Great.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, that bread tasted really good.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.